Let us now take a look at a problem which we can solve using 1D array. That means an array having just a single row and multiple columns. So we're going to find the sum and average of a 1D array. First, you have to understand what are the data elements required to find the sum and average. I am creating an array A whose maximum capacity is 50. That means its full capacity to store numbers is only 50 integers it can store. Why am I using this variable I? I'm using this variable I so that I can traverse through this array using the index or the subscript. Now this n tells me what are the maximum number of elements I am going to enter. Although the capacity is 50, let us say I am going to enter or use only 5 elements, and sum is used to calculate the sum of all these individual objects or elements. Now let's come to this problem. Enter the number of elements. Let's say n is 5. Alright. Now using this for loop, I am going to ask the user enter the elements. So what we'll do is we'll start with I from 0 as you have seen here. As long as I is less than 5, I am going to read values into different locations. 0 is less than 5, so I'm going to read the first number into A of I. Let us say the number happens to be 2. Then I is increased by 1. Okay, I is increased, it becomes 1. 1 is less than 5. So in the first location, I am reading one more number. Let us say 5. I increase I by 1, I becomes 2. 2 is still less than 5, so I am coming here. In the second location, I am reading one more number. Let us say 3. Then by increasing I by 1, I ends up becoming 3. In the third location, I ask the user to enter a value, and let's say he or she enters 1. I now is increased to 4. 4 is less than 5. A of 4, let me say I enter the number 4 itself. Alright. Now I has ended up becoming 5. When I come here, increasing I to 5, 5 is not less than 5. So I come out of this for loop. Then I can use this for loop to find the sum. Again, I am starting with the value of I equal to 0, 0 less than 5, and at every step I am adding the value of this particular number, whatever is this individual numbers, to sum. So let's take, instead of this 5 here, let's take the variable sum. I is 0, 0 is less than 5. Sum is 0, I have initialized 0 here. Sum is 0 plus A of I, A of 0 is 2, 0 plus 2. So sum is now equal to 2. I becomes 1. I'm just ticking off and reusing so it's easier to understand. I becomes 1. This condition is true. Sum is 2 plus 5. It is now 7. Okay. I ends up becoming 2. 2 is still less than 5. Sum is sum plus A of 2. A of 2 is 3. 7 plus 3 is equal to 10. Now I from 2 ends up becoming 3. 3 is still less than 5. Sum is 10 plus A of 3. A of 3 is 1. It is equal to 11. Then I is again increased by 1. I becomes 4. 4 is less than 5. Sum is equal to sum plus A of 4. A of 4 happens to be what? 4. So 11 plus 4 is equal to 15. Now I has increased and become 5. 5 is not less than 5. So this loop is completed execution. Now let's come to the next phase of this problem. Now I have declared a variable called as average, which is floating or a real number type. Now if you see, the data type of A of 50 is all integers, but it is so much possible that the average can be a real number like 20.5, 20.2. So whatever sum I get, I typecast it explicitly to convert sum. In this case, sum is, say, okay, it's 15. So by making it float sum, this 15 becomes 15.0. How many numbers? I have 5 numbers. So 15 upon 5, the average is 3.00. But suppose instead of 4, I had made this 5. Then this would have been 16 upon Sorry, 16 upon 5. 16 upon 5 would have been 3.333, something like that. So in that case, sum would have been 16.0 divided by 3. If you forget this float, when it is 16 by 3, the answer will still show the average as 5. So in order to get the correct average, I need to typecast this sum explicitly to float. Now I am printing sum is sum. It is going to print sum as 15 or 16 depending what you have entered. Average is 5.00 or 5.33 depending upon what number you have entered in the last. So this should give you an idea how we go about finding the sum and average of a 1D array.